The father's hands trembled when he hung up the phone. The demand echoed in the silence of his mansion. 3 million. Or a body bag. His wife sobbed. The police whispered excuses, already useless. And me? I stood behind him, still and quiet. The butler, the shadow in his house. But shadows see everything. When the call came again, the kidnapper laughed through static. Tick-tock, the clock doesn't stop. Then the line died. The father collapsed into a chair, face gray with helplessness. His eyes met mine, begging for answers he couldn't say aloud. That was the moment I broke character. The obedient servant disappeared. The other man, the one I buried years ago, returned. "I'll bring her back," I told him, my voice flat, certain. He didn't know what those words meant, not yet. I once belonged to Mossad's Kidon unit, the sharp end of the blade. My resignation came after a tragedy I never speak of, a mistake that cost lives, a mistake that carved silence into me. Becoming a butler was exile dressed as penance, serving drinks instead of death, iron suits instead of bloodied hands. But tonight, the ghosts returned. I studied the father as he sat broken, muttering about police negotiations, ransom transfers. He wanted to believe money could undo evil. Money couldn't. I kept my mask on, but inside, unease spread. Something about the call gnawed at me. The laughter, the demand, the numbers. Too precise, too staged. Ransoms are usually messy, angry voices, rushed threats. This one was calm, too calm. As if they wanted us to know it wasn't desperation. It was theater. And theater always has a scriptwriter. The question clawed inside me. Was this a kidnapping or a betrayal staged from within? I moved quietly, observing, listening. The police worked the phones, circling their own incompetence. The mother wept into her hands. The father paced, muttering about his reputation, his business partners. More fear of scandal than of death. Details emerged. The kidnappers knew precise routines, which car the daughter used, the unguarded road, the driver's sick leave. Too much detail for chance. Inside the house, secrets whispered. I found 2 phones hidden in the father's study, numbers scrubbed but not erased. Outgoing calls aligned perfectly with the hour she vanished. Coincidence? No. I checked his financials. Offshore accounts drained in silence. Enough money to pay himself 3 million. Enough to stage a tragedy, play grieving father, and still profit. I watched him closely at dinner. His hands shook not from fear, but anticipation. His eyes darted to the clock, not the phone. The storm inside me hardened, controlled rage. Not for the kidnappers, for him. The proof arrived in the form of a recording. One of my contacts fed it to me, audio intercepted from the supposed kidnappers. The voice on the tape wasn't foreign, wasn't masked. It was his, the father's, practicing the threats, rehearsing the laughter. He hadn't lost his daughter, he had traded her. To wipe debts, to weaponize grief for sympathy, to hide theft behind tragedy. I listened to the tape in silence, the fury in me condensed into something sharp, crystalline. That night, I placed the recording on the dining table. He entered late, tie loosened, pretending exhaustion. "What's this?" he asked. I pressed play. His own voice filled the room, mocking, demanding ransom. His face drained of color. I didn't move, didn't speak. I only watched as the mask cracked, his chest heaving, excuses scrambling for breath. He knew, and he knew that I knew. He collapsed into the chair, mumbling half-truths, begging for my silence. "She's safe," he whispered. "It was just business. I'll get her back." I stepped closer, calm, my voice flat as stone. "You sold your own child." He flinched like the words were bullets. "Please," he said, sweat dripping, "help me cover this. I'll pay you." I cut him off with silence, the kind of silence that strangled. Then I leaned down, close enough for him to smell the steel in me. "No," I said, "you'll confess. To her, to them. And when you do, I'll be watching." I left the tape beside him, his destruction contained in a single device. His empire, his family, his name, already burning, though the flames hadn't reached him yet. The daughter was found the next morning, alive, abandoned, untouched. She ran into her mother's arms, sobbing. The father sat in his study, pale, broken. He hadn't confessed yet, but I knew he would. Men like him collapse under silence. Guilt is louder than any scream. I stood in the doorway, watching him drown in the truth he wrote for himself. There was no pity, no forgiveness, only clarity. He thought money could ransom innocence, thought betrayal could hide beneath grief. But betrayal always rots in the dark, and I had dragged it into the light. As I walked away, his sobs followed me, weak and empty. I didn't turn back, because I was never his butler. I was his reckoning.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.